All right, in global news, the United Nations has warned of ethnic cleansing and regional destabilisation in Myanmar. And Myanmar's de facto leader has spoken out for the first time about the latest Rohingya crisis. Aung San Suu Kyi has blamed terrorists for what she calls misinformation about the current crisis that has caused more than 140,000 Rohingya people to run for their lives into Bangladesh. In a call with the president of Turkey, Suu Kyi said her government was working to protect their rights, but she claimed that there was an iceberg of misinformation that suits the terrorists. Suu Kyi could be referring to Rohingya militants who've been involved in clashes with government security forces that have left hundreds dead in the Rakhine state, where the majority of the Rohingya live. The Rohingya are considered some of the most persecuted people in the world. They are an ethnic Muslim minority people in Myanmar, where the majority is Buddhist. Having migrated from India and Bangladesh originally, they've been denied citizenship by the government of Myanmar for generations. All right, let's talk about this latest crisis. We're joined by Shabnam Mayet, advocate from Protect the Rohingya. Can we start? Just tell us a bit about your organization based in South Africa.
Sure, yes, our organization is based in South Africa. We started in 2012 as a response to the initial violence against the Rohingya, and we started doing awareness. We have an e-book. We also have a genocide report, which was sent to the United Nations Office for the Prevention of Genocide, and we do a whole lot of advocacy and we assist organizations who want to do projects and fundraising for the Rohingya.
Have you or other members had the opportunity to go to Rakhine State in Myanmar and see the conditions that the Rohingya are living under?
We work with various international partners, and as you know, at the moment, Rakhine State is under blockade. So since last year, October's military clearance operation, no one has been allowed in. In fact, journalists and observers are followed and only allowed to speak to specific individuals. And after people have been interviewed, there's actually been some of them killed for speaking out.
Sure. The background is heartbreaking. So, and just correct me, I think it's important to give context. So these are people who centuries ago came from India or Bangladesh, laborers. They were then denied citizenship. So they have no state. They could ostensibly return to Bangladesh, but this is their land. And the Bangladeshis say no, they are Burmese. They belong in former Burma, Myanmar. So they have no country, basically.
Well, actually, 800 years ago, there was no border between Bangladesh and Burma. So communities, not necessarily laborers from India or anywhere else, actually people who lived in those areas existed there without borders. And the Rohingya have been there for 800 years. There have been coins. There's also a repatriation agreement from 1978 signed by Bangladesh to show that they were very much citizens of Burma, part of the political life. It's only since 1982, when the government revoked their citizenship, that this problem has really arisen in this way.
So they are living there but without citizenship.
Right, and they have no rights to own land, to go to tertiary education. South Africans would understand restrictions of movement, forced sterilization, and they even require government permission to get married.
Sure. Right now, so the militants are fighting the government. Aung San Suu Kyi is saying they're terrorists, we have to deal with terrorists. But it sounds like the global community is saying government. The crackdown here goes way beyond dealing with a few militants.
Right, and a few armed guards attacked 3 police stations on the 25th of August, and that has the oppression against the Rohingya, has happened since the late 70s. So it's very easy to say that they're fighting terror, but in reality, it is institutionalized oppression and apartheid policies against the Rohingya for generations, which the government has implemented.
How bad is the situation? Because we hear villages razed.
Over 20 villages have been razed. Human Rights Watch has actually have satellite information showing photography, showing these villages that have been burnt down. 400,000 people are in immediate need of aid. 120,000 people have been displaced, and over 2,000 people killed since the 25th of August.
Aung San Suu Kyi, how is she looking in this situation?
Honestly, she's been the biggest disappointment in the entire situation, especially because so many people around the world fought and struggled for her release from house arrest. This is the first time she said something, and again, she's not really saying anything real. You know, she's not putting out any objectives, any recommendations from the Rakhine Commission. She's basically saying they're fighting terrorists. And if they are, then why don't they go to those specific groups that they are accusing and arrest them? Why unleash such atrocities on the entire civilian population?
So, a Nobel laureate known for being an advocate for human rights could be behind something that's been referred to as ethnic cleansing. Is that how serious it is? It
is absolutely that serious. And in fact, last year, more than 20 Nobel laureates wrote Aung San Suu Kyi a letter saying, please do something, say something. And she's really been the biggest disappointment. And even this week, again, Malala Yousafzai has made comments asking Aung San Suu Kyi to please do something.
What can the global community do? There have been statements, a call to Turkey. I believe the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Myanmar today. Will that sort of pressure help?
Probably not, because India has sold military arms to Myanmar before and is supportive of the Myanmar regime, so it probably won't help. But around the world, other countries, Chechnya, Berlin, London, Geneva, Indonesia, so there have been various capitals and countries protesting over the past week and asking for diplomatic pressure to be put.
And what about Bangladesh? They face this influx. What has their response been?
Currently, there are over 500,000 refugees in Bangladesh, and 20 to 30,000 Rohingya remain within no man's land between Burma and Bangladesh since the 25th of August. Bangladesh is saying that they have too many people and they're unable to handle this humanitarian crisis, hence their borders are closed. Turkey is now saying they will foot the bill. Bangladesh should please just open the borders because these people have nowhere to return to.
It's a heartbreaking situation. Thank you for your analysis, Shabnam Mayet from Protect the Rohingya, which is a group based here in South Africa.